Hello and welcome to the Classroom Connection, the show that takes you inside Marion County Public Schools. I'm your host, Kevin Christian, and coming up today, learn why hundreds of volunteers converge on every elementary school around to promote one single cause. Then we'll show you why hundreds of teachers recently gathered when school was not even in session. And then discover Mr. Duda all over again as we pay tribute to an education hero. Up first today, though, this is November, a month to remember veterans and their service to our country. Just 2 months ago, we marked the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks with ceremonies, moments of silence, and memorial dedications across the country, including right here in Marion County. Now, one such ceremony involved laying a wreath in front of Forest High School by the school's Air Force Junior ROTC unit.
Up, aim, high.
This is an honor to be able to do the 10-year ceremony, and it's just about everybody that lost their lives, everybody that gave their life for somebody else, every firefighter that went into the Twin Towers when they could have stayed out, everybody on Flight 93 who, well, crashed the plane instead of letting it crash into D.C.
We have been doing this type of ceremony since 2002, since right after the first year. Over the years, we've had a very large flag we used to put over the front of the school and conduct a ceremony with that.
This is one of the biggest and specialist events that we have. We have a lot of special events, but this by far is one of our most sincere, and we're very dedicated to the people that died on 9/11 for us and for our country, so it means a lot to us.
This is a tradition here at Forest High School, and one that we're very proud of, honoring the men and women that have served, those who have given their lives or who face handicaps today because of their service to our country. This is a small thing that we can do, but it's a very important thing because it teaches the kids here that there has to be dedication, there has to be service to your country. And this small part today is honoring all that.
We can't be as large and as successful without the support of our principal and the administration and the guidance office. Without that, a program, it's very difficult for them to grow and get the quality of cadets we have.
Being associated with the Air Force for 32 and a half years and now coming here, and luckily it is Air Force, because that's a good thing in my heart.
The cadets plan the ceremony, they get out and what they need to do. We just give them and say to them, we're going to have a 9/11 ceremony and plan and go at it. So the cadets put all this on.
This is all student-led. The instructors are here to provide guidance, to provide a way of leadership to these kids, but the ranking individuals, the ranking students within the ROTC program, they plan it out, they carry it forward.
I know it starts in August when we tell them. We come out and they come out and practice. They clean up the area here and make sure everything's shipshape. Then they go ahead and practice, and we were out here Saturday practicing this ceremony. The instructors help and observe and tell them little hints that are helpful, but these cadets that you see out here, this is what they do, and this is what the program is all about.
For me, it's actually kind of really awesome because I don't really have a lot of family members that knew a lot of people that died on 9/11, so it's a good way for me to get involved.
It means the world. I'm from New York, and I actually know 70 people from my city that died in a trade center, so this means a great deal to me.
This is the 5th year our school district has presented the Veterans Day ceremony at the Marion County Veterans Memorial Park, and Forest High's ROTC unit is just one of the student organizations participating this year. Well, just days ago, we introduced a brand new feature on our district website, a feature just for students. Here's Chadwick Pierce to explain what that is all about.
A while back, we brought you a story about the Parent Portal, a new feature on the Marion County Public Schools website where parents can log in to see their children's grades and missed assignments. But now the students will be able to log into their own student desktop, and they already see the benefits of it.
With this new student portal, it would just be so beneficial for the students to be able to log on to see our grades in our class and what assignments maybe we're missing, what assignments we need to work on, maybe if there's an upcoming test, if we need to study a little harder for it because our grade is a little low.
There are going to be benefits to both sides, administrators and students.
Obviously, it's more convenient for us when we're at home and we want to check our grades. We can just log on to this portal as opposed to getting out of class or after school and disrupting the guidance counselor and asking her, requesting a printout of our grades or for her to show us our grades. So it's just convenient for both ourselves and the guidance counselor as well.
What are some of the benefits and pros to this new student desktop going to be? Nardine has good examples.
Say you missed a day of school, it'll be much easier for you to go on there, find out what you missed, hopefully make up your grades, hopefully improve your grades. It'll be something where you can keep in touch with your teachers, hopefully even communicate with your parents a bit, like Parent Portal. Everybody's accessed Parent Portal, and the majority of us see the benefits of it. So with Student Portal, I feel like it'll be designed more specifically for the students, and it'll be more like easily accessible for them.
Nardine has another good point to how the new student desktop will work to the student's advantage.
Well, personally, I suffer from post-traumatic test syndrome. After I take a test, I'm always super anxious to find out what I got. And with Student Portal, there's like a 24-hour turnover period, so I can the next day just go on there, see what I got on my test, keep up with my grades, communicate with my teachers. I really feel like it will benefit everybody.
Students already know what they are going to use this for.
I personally will use it because I'm a little bit competitive with myself. I always like to do the best that I can, and looking at that, I could say, ooh, I only got a B on that one. Next time I'm going to try to get an A. And sometimes if you're on the bubble, which is either you're at an 89, which is 1 point away from an A, you can say, oh, next time I have to do better on that test so I can bump up my grade. So that's probably what I would use it for.
Students coming into Marion County Public Schools will have something pretty cool to look forward to help them stay on track and stay up on their grades.
I was thinking about it when they were told that the student portal is going to come out. It was kind of like the iPad. We didn't know we needed it or we wanted it until we heard about it, and now everyone wants to have the student portal. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Already, we are planning to expand the student desktop and offer it to elementary and middle students over the coming months. As well, 16 other school districts have plans to visit or have already visited Marion County to discover how our tech teams put this entire desktop all together. Well, speaking of technology, just before school started this year, the 3rd annual Day of Technology offered teachers a fresh look at the newest classroom technology around. This time, though, an increasing number of attendees came from outside our school district. Joe Hartley spoke with some of those visitors to hear what drew them to this event.
There's a bunch of reasons why we're here today, but really it's a chance to see what other K-12 districts are doing in schools and really how they apply the technology that the vendors offer to meet their specific needs and goals.
3 years ago, Marion County's Day of Technology was conceived as a way to get teachers face-to-face with the vendors who provide technology for the classroom. Bring the vendors all to one place at one time and let the teachers interact with them.
And your clue for this one is H2O. So you're going to hold on to the letters and flip them over. Yay. Oh man, my kids would never get to do it.
What happened?
It's a concept attractive to other school districts who have many of the same questions and don't want to spend a lot of time getting them answered.
It's a world of difference. I mean, in one day, you can basically do what it takes a normal week, you know, and really just kind of learning about the technology and discussing all the vendors. And we deal with so many of the same vendors that you guys deal with that it's really almost the same environment in some ways, but yet different because we get to learn how you guys get, you know, really applied this technology. So really within about a day, you know, is equal to about a week if we were trying to do this on our own.
And we can drone here?
It's turned into not only a professional development opportunity for our own district, but also for other districts. And we invited a number of other districts so we can use it as a day of collaboration amongst districts. We sent out invitations to other districts as well to take advantage of the opportunity, and it seemed to be a benefit for them as well as for Marion County.
We wanted to see what the vendors have to offer, and we've worked with Scott Hansen. He invited us to come over and learn all the new technologies, and we wanted to see you know, what was going on and see what we can take back and apply in our own school district.
Educating students is common among all school districts, but each might have a different method of doing it, and the sharing of ideas is an added bonus to the interaction at Day of Technology.
It's really interesting because, you know, each school district has a different way that they would apply different types of technologies, and you always learn from others and how they apply the technology to solve their individual business needs.
The benefit that we saw this year having other districts come is when they sit in and get to engage and communicate not only with the IT staff here in Marion County, but hear teachers in the classroom, because the event is about teachers. I think having other districts in those classrooms throughout the course of a day, and those districts getting to hear from teachers and the ideas that they have about how they're integrating and using technology is an advantage for all of us.
The sessions are about every hour. We can learn, you know, about a technology it might be for the classroom or maybe for a system, and we're learning a lot just in our conversations with all the other people from the other school districts as well. So it's a lot of collaboration. We're sharing ideas out in the hallways, and so it's vendors, a lot of sharing ideas, and we're glad to be here.
You know the old saying about building a better mousetrap? Well, people are beating a path to Marion County's technology door.
We've put together a day from an organizational standpoint that in many cases is a better professional development day than some of the traditional conferences that are held in Orlando or Tampa, because we've structured it for the teacher. Vendors like it because we have a lot of organization behind it.
There's all, you know, phone calls and phone tag and emails, and, you know, the quality of the conversation and experience is just much greater when you get the chance to meet the vendors in person rather than a 5-minute phone call in between meetings and emails and that kind of thing. Much better quality.
Many of the vendors donated door prizes that day, including a free iPad for one lucky teacher. Well, technology can help students improve their reading. We all know that, but there's nothing like a good book to improve literacy skills. Ben Capitano shows us how Emerald Shores Elementary keeps their students learning during what's usually a downtime for education.
When you hear summer school, you probably think of a dull classroom out of the Florida sun, teaching kids who probably didn't do too well the year prior. But think again, because at Emerald Shores, summer school takes on a whole new, dare I say, fun meaning.
Every week we have a theme, and this week it was Pajama Day. We read 2 books about having pajama parties, and just the kids were all invited to wear their pajamas and bring their sleep pillows, and so I dressed the part too to get them in the mood and to help them to think about what the theme of our story is this week.
My name is Dorotha Johnston. I'm the school librarian at Emerald Shores Elementary. I got together with Miss Redding, and we were worried about the summer slump that children go through with reading, particularly, and we wanted to do something about it.
Okay, what do you think, Caleb?
You see, summer school in Marion County is all about keeping kids focused during the summer, so they don't forget valuable information that otherwise might be lost come school time.
I am a 3rd grade teacher, but we're here volunteering because we want the kids to have access to as many books as possible over the summer. It helps them to keep from losing academic growth. It helps them so that when they get back to school, they haven't lost much ground.
The learning loss can be up to at least a year, sometimes more dramatic if the child doesn't do anything at all. They're just in front of the television all day and don't interact with kids, etc. So our objective is to prevent that loss, to allow them to either maintain or perhaps even move ahead a little bit throughout the summer.
And teachers as well as parents can agree that in order for children to maintain that ability is to read anything and everything they can during the summer months.
I read constantly when we're in a grocery store. We're reading labels. When we're going down the street, we're reading signs. So it's constant. Everything's reading constantly. Reading books at night, coming here reading, just because everything is reading, so the more they read, the more they understand, the easier it is in life, so.
Oh, it keeps them motivated because it's fun, and they get the attention, and we try to give them one-on-one attention. I'm just getting ready to go and read to a little boy who's going to be tucked into his sleeping bag, and we're going to read a story, and then he's going to take the AR test, and he's going to get a star if he makes 80 or above on it, and I'm sure he will, because he's very interested, and just, as I said, anything that we can do to get the kids interested and motivated to read, that's what we're trying to promote. Read, 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 and then read some more over the summer.
Manta rays look like this. Stingrays look like...
It's been almost 9 weeks since we've been in school, and our program ended 1 week before school started. So it's been about 10 weeks. I think this is setting the pace for it. This is setting a precedence for how kids look at every subject in school and how they look at life. And as I said, that's what good literature does. It helps train the child. It helps them to think about what they're reading and how they feel about certain subjects and how they respond to it. We had the pajama party. It was so much of a success that I can't wait to do it again next year. It does take a little bit of a sacrifice. We opened up the doors 1 day a week for 3 hours during that day, but it was worth it, and I wouldn't consider not doing it after seeing the enthusiasm of the kids and the parent involvement, and it's definitely a worthwhile program, and I'm so glad that we started doing it.
The school plans to continue the summer program next year, so good luck to them on that. Well, reading is also the main ingredient for one local service club that invades every elementary school for 1 day every school year. This time, our own Tom Lauder followed along for what's become known as the Altrusa Read-In.
An Altrusa Read-In group known as the 100 Grandparents of the On Top of the World we're joined today by some special dignitaries.
To me, reading is the key to a great education. If you can read and comprehend that reading, then the sky's the limit to what you can learn. And there's just no substitute for it, and I deeply appreciate y'all taking your time. I know you enjoy it. I can see it on your faces. This is not something someone drags you to. You look forward to being with these young people, and I don't do it every month, but frequently I do get into different schools around the district, and it's always a joy to be there, so I know what you're experiencing, and thank you for doing it.
The flu. I tell them not to panic. This is a job for Neat Joe. Wonderful experience for them. They get someone who's interested just in them. There's no pressure on them to do any work other than to listen and to know that somebody outside the teacher and their parents are interested in what they're doing.
Altrusa's literacy program is both rewarding to the student, but most of all to the volunteer.
Altrusa's been a great program of connecting ordinary citizens, moms and dads, workers in the community with what's going on in the education model. And it really shows them real live examples how these reading skills, these learning skills are very important to their success later. Most of us are able to connect that for the kids that we work with, and also it really puts a face on education. These are real people. These are our real future, and they're the real present.
Oh no, oh no. My daughter used to do that, and I put a mattress on the floor, so when she rolled over, she just fell into the mattress and she kept on sleeping. Well, I think Altrusa's program of encouraging reading is very, very important, because if you can't read, you're not going to succeid in this world.
Sometimes the way the volunteer reads the book can make all the difference to the audience that is listening.
By alligators.
Oh, what the?
So I think it's important to get involved in it. And we're not only involved in the reading, we get involved with the children in the activities. So it's very important to me because I think I get more out of it than the kids do. I just thoroughly enjoy it.
Reading and literacy go hand in hand, and that's why it's so important to have volunteers in our school system doing all that they do for our children.
As a whole, it connects the whole school system with the community, not only the voting community, but the people that are respected that have been there before. As for the community of Romeo, like I said, there is absolutely no replacement for it. These students get to respect the elders, they learn from them, and it's actually a wonderful situation on both parts for the grandparents and the students.
What is that duck doing?
Altrusa has been reading in our local schools for more than 23 years now, so a big thanks to everyone who participates each year. Generous is also a great descriptor, we can say, for Marion County's longest-serving school volunteer. Mr. Henry Duda recently passed from this life, but only after impacting the lives of countless students and colleagues over the years. Now, 3 years ago, you may recall, we featured him on this show, and we'd like to share that story again with you in honor of Mr. Henry Duda.
I asked them if they could use a volunteer, but I said I didn't want to take a job away from somebody. Since people ask me, well, what do you do down there now? This has been 3 years now. I tell them I have a job that nobody else wants.
What he does isn't what makes Henry Duda special. It's how long he's been doing it. After 36 years as a teacher, he and his wife retired to Ocala and went to work.
My wife saw the sign at Hillcrest for special children. She said, that's where I'm going. So I went up around the corner and I went into Ward Holland. I said, do you have volunteers at your school, the school district? She said, yes, we do. She said, well, usually they come here for a half hour, so on, and when would like to come? I said, well, I like to come all day, every day. She said, what?
That was 28 years ago. In that time, Duda has done a little bit of everything.
I put the books away after school for the librarian. Then I would help the teachers if they had someone that needed help in reading or arithmetic, then they'd let me know. And I helped the custodian, and I would help on the carnivals, and I helped in the kitchen for about 7 years.
The soon-to-be 90-year-old has a very simple reason for doing what he does.
Somebody had to teach me the things that I know to help me along the way in my career, and so I'm just trying to give a little bit back here and there and just help out. It makes you feel good. It makes the end of the week you feel like you've done something.
Mr. Duda had a great sense of humor and a keen sense of peace about him. We will miss him greatly throughout our district. Peace is also on the minds of Howard Middle School students these days, so much so that they recently put pencils, paper, and wind together to form quite the event. Once again, here's Tom Louder to explain.
These pinwheels could remind you of your childhood, or maybe just time spent as a child. But these students are learning a lot more. Tolerance that will ultimately lead to sharing peace.
It's just to observe International Day of Peace, just as a day of reconciliation and just kind of coming together, sharing various cultures, diversities, opinions, just bringing everyone together so we just see that common goal of peace as being our goal.
Why not use pinwheels and not say the peace sign? Something that we're all familiar with.
Because of just the spinning, just the free flowing, just the freedom. It kind of represents like a freedom, you know, like a release.
I say, as we witness the state of the world, let unity shape you, let love mold you, Always put in your moral beliefs that peace and harmony is created through the cooperation of others, sealed with trust and truth.
There was also time to award those students who took the time to really embrace the Day of Peace with special pinwheels and sayings.
Place winner is Morgan Vieira.
They were for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and it was for students that had already created Pinwheels for Peace in their classrooms, and we asked the teachers to select 1 or 2 pinwheels from each of their classes and to submit them. So there were 4 or 5 of us judging those pinwheels. So based on the IB concepts that they included and whatever peace, whatever peace objectives and goals that were written on there, the details, the specifics, we just selected, the best pinwheels that we thought represented peace here at Howard Middle School. Or to remind them that today is International Day of Peace, and so they can see the pinwheels, and hopefully that will give them just some insight on, what we're trying to do here at Howard Middle School and hopefully reaching the community.
One student in particular gives her version of what the day really means and makes us understand that it's not hard to spread peace.
Well, it shows everybody that you can do anything you can and you can achieve anything, and peace shows people that there's more to life than what you're living, and you can basically spread peace.
This is the 5th year Howard students have participated in the Pinwheels for Peace project. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up today's show. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you again right here for another episode of the Classroom Connection. Until then, parents, remember, be there for your child every day.